What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft and how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just hearing about the passing of Assata Shakur, and well, they never got her, did they? That's the first thing that came to mind because they were trying to get her. I remember even as far back as Reagan, they were trying to get her, and nobody would go down there to Cuba to get her. And then I remember they were offering $25,000 to anyone that would go down to Cuba and get her. But she never got taken out of Cuba. And Fidel Castro, when he was alive, he wouldn't give her up. And a lot of people don't realize she did not flee to Cuba by herself. There were several other Black Panthers that fled to Cuba. She was just probably the most well known out of all of the ones that went there. But she definitely was not alone. So she was 78 years old. Rest in power, sister. All right, so we're going to get a little more into this story. And my condolences to her family.
Assata Shakur dies at 78. Revolutionary, fugitive, symbol. On September 25th, 2025, from Queens to the front lines. Born July 16th, 1947 in Queens, New York, though she sometimes used alternate birth dates. Joanne grew up during turbulent years of segregation, migration, and politicization. She was drawn into activism early, later affiliating with the Black Panther Party and then the Black Liberation Army, BLA. Over time, she became a vocal critic of systemic racism, police brutality, and state violence. The Turnpike shootout and conviction. Her life took a dramatic turn on May 2nd, 1973, when she was in a car that was stopped by New Jersey State Police on the Turnpike. In the ensuing gunfire exchange, Trooper Werner Forster was killed, as was BLA member Zaid Malik Shakur. Assata was wounded and arrested. After a highly contested trial, she was convicted in 1977 of murdering Forster and several other felony charges. Her defenders argued she was not given a fair trial and that some evidence pointed to her right arm being disabled during the confrontation, making firearm use unlikely. Escape and exile in 1979. With assistance from allies, Assata escaped from prison, Clinton Correctional Facility for Women in New Jersey. She resurfaced years later in Cuba, where she was granted political asylum by Fidel Castro's government. She lived the remainder of her life as a fugitive from U.S. authorities, who repeatedly sought her extradition. Despite being on the FBI's most wanted terrorists list, the first woman ever placed there, she remained a figure of veneration to many in activist circles. Legacy and divisions. To her supporters, Assata was a rebel against oppression, a woman who refused to disappear. She was referenced in hip-hop, in Black radical discourse, and beloved by many who saw her as a symbol of resistance and sacrifice. To her critics, she was a convicted murderer and fugitive who evaded justice for decades. Many in law enforcement and the families of victims never forgave her. Her passing is bound to reopen debates. Did she receive justice or persecution? Does her life inspire healing or division? How do we remember those who lived outside boundaries set by state authority? Final reflection. Assata's death marks the closing of a long chapter of tension between revolutionary rhetoric, state power, and memory. She walked a path few dared to tread, and few remain indifferent to. Her life was never just about crime or innocence. It was about the story America tells itself, about race, justice, dissent, and who is afforded mercy. As she takes her final breath, her legend, flawed, embattled, and immortal, remains a mirror to our deepest questions about power and freedom.
All right, well, I hate that this sister passed, but I'm glad I got to know her story, and everything that happened to her that led to the shooting of the cop. That all happened here in New Jersey. And I'm just glad they did not do to her what they wanted to do, you know, label her a cop killer. And, she got away. I don't know how she could shoot a cop and her arms all jacked up, but these people always making all kinds of accusations that are unfounded. So it's nothing shocking. But I sure hope this sister rests well. And I will never forget her. I will never forget her story. And many out there that even to this very day, there's still quite a few Black Panthers that are behind bars and never got out. So she was in there for a while, but she was able to escape. So, y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think about this one. She sure lived a modest life when she went to Cuba. You didn't hear nothing else about her when she was over there. Now, I did see a documentary a few years back about her, and she was on it, talking about everything that she went through. She really just gave a bio of her whole life. And it was really good, and I'm glad I watched it. I might actually go back and see if I can watch it again. Please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.